This is Chris Heasley with the Chris Heasley Radio Show. In 2023, Texas lawmakers passed a law requiring online internet pornographic websites to have an age verification procedure whereby users would have to input their age in order to access the website. This law has passed and it is in place now. The largest pornographic website in the world is Pornhub, and Pornhub sued Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to block the enforcement of this law. They failed in this lawsuit. As a result of this, Pornhub has suspended all service in the state of Texas. Today, the service is not available. Texans cannot view that website today if they are in the state of Texas. But it brings up the question, why is this happening? Why are we having this constant battle over this hypersexualization of our society? Why is there a push to hypersexualize our society? And on today's show, we have two guests on the line. In the studio today, we have Mark Stross. He is America's technologist. He has an incredible background in technology. He's built very successful enterprises in technology. And today he's sort of moved on to a new part of his life where he is attempting to expose and to protect or to assist us in making us aware of all of these threats that come from a constantly evolving technological sphere and the threats that it poses to our families and to our children. And with that being said, Mark, thank you for being on the show today.
Well, thank you, Chris. This is so nice to be on, to be able to share my messages and really what's in my heart. I first of all want to tell everyone, I love technology. So the first thing I want to establish is this is not going to be a show to tell everyone technology is bad, because it isn't. This is going to be a show to tell people how to live a better life and how to protect our children, how to remember this one simple concept. And I'm going to describe it to begin the show, and I'm going to come back to it at the end of the show. Listen, to every parent, to every guardian, to every human listening to me, innocence can be taken, and it's taken instantly, and it can never be regained. The pressure that society has today to figure out when should we take a child's innocence has never been greater. And the challenge is for all of you to decide, when are you going to say we've had enough? When are we going to say that our children are more important than profit? When are we going to actually agree to stop yelling at each other and calling each other book burners, racists, etc.? The time's over. If you're a Republican or a Democrat and you want to argue about our children's safety over politics, then you are really wrong. Children are much more important than politics. Children are our future, and we have to protect them. And Chris, I think you agree with that.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. That is a great statement. I agree with every part of what you just said. Well, I got a question for you. They always put it on the parent, and of course, parents, while they flood us with these materials, it's impossible for a parent to do those things because it just keeps coming and coming and coming, and you have a 50-hour work week, and then you're supposed to go to the school library, this, that, and the other. Tell me what you think about that.
It is shallow. It is not addressing any of the core issues. Let me deal with the real issue. The real issue is most people that are telling you that they don't want any firewalls and pornography and they don't want to protect the children, usually it's because they're watching pornography themselves and they're addicted to it. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. The reason people are so adamant to keep pornography open is because they want to see it. If they were alarmed by it and they didn't want to see it, they would advocate putting a gate at the entrance of pornography. Why don't you want to put a gate on the entrance of pornography? Oh, because you want absolute access to it. That's your preference. So I think people have to get a bit more real. Are you actually trying to protect your access to pornography, or are you trying to protect the children? What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, Mike, I have no opinion on adults doing what they want to do. If you're an adult, you want to do it. That has no bearing, and I'm not. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think that pornography is a net positive for our society. Should it be completely eradicated? I don't know. I think certainly what should happen is it should be put behind a paywall because children don't have for the most part, they don't have access to credit cards to the best of my understanding. And I think that would put a huge hindrance. But I guess my whole premise is that stuff has to be stopped from going to our kids' eyes. It's so damaging to a child.
So let me, for example, give an example. The state of Texas did an admirable job. They also are the only state that has really passed a security set of laws for the internet. They didn't go far enough. I read them. Unfortunately, there were so many loopholes that big tech can get through that unfortunately the laws were muted, as they always do, because they weakened them. They made too many caveats and loopholes. So I'm not going to go into those because they're very highly technical and most people won't understand them. You'd have to be a technologist to understand the loopholes. But this is the problem. The problem is this is all centered around profit. And what I want everyone to realize is that social media outfits have thousands of programmers that their only task is dedicated to addicting your eyeballs to stay on their product. So if you're trying to addict everyone and you have a team, thousands of people that are dedicated to figuring out the psychology to hold your eyeballs on their target, why do you think as a parent you're going to win? Because you're you and your kids. You have an army you're facing, and you think you can do a better job of protecting your family than society is doing, making your family succumb to the pressure of society, which is join social media. So unfortunately, and I hate to call it this, but that pressure, that peer pressure, has actually motivated people to actually, in my opinion, give up their values for peer pressure. And it's very sad because we have become genned up. Genned up means we're angry all the time because we are oversaturated with information that we don't know how to actually deal with the information, so we lash out. People want their agenda heard. They're so excited to actually hear views that actually agree with their worldview, that at the end of the day, they are going to seek out similar views. So what they don't realize is the social media algorithms learn from how they're clicking and what they're looking at and slowly funnel them in to a complete worldview that is completely their view. So what they don't realize is they're not looking at the news. They're not looking at real information. They're looking at curated information that is designed to delight them because it's their choices that they're looking at. So eventually, you're looking at your own biases, and your worldview is completely your bias. Then, one day, you meet someone that has been going down their funnel, and their worldviews are completely different. Then you get genned up and all excited because how can this person not believe your views? Well, guess what? Silicon Valley succeeded. They kept you two on two different tunnels or funnels. They got you so excited about giving you information that you all wanted so badly that you forgot that there's a whole world around you. And when you had to interact with the world, you couldn't because the world had different information than your worldview. And you got angry and you think the world is against you because it doesn't understand you. Thank you, social media. That's the dilemma our kids are in. They feel unheard. Of course they feel unheard because their funnel is not going to be repeated by someone else's funnel. And that is the societal pressure our kids are under.
I think that a lot of that is happening.